What's your interest in the conference here today?
So I've been involved right from the start. In fact, when it was an idea being discussed in a curry house just around the corner with Hugh Montgomery, and seen it turn into today's event. I've been on the steering group that have shaped it, so very much enthused by the idea of what we could achieve in this conference.
And why health and security?
Well, I think when you have the medical profession saying this is a major threat to global health, the security profession saying this is a clear and present danger, and many of my audience or my customers in business saying this is an unavoidable opportunity, it becomes a fascinating set of perspectives to explore, and a very important one.
And we've heard a bit today from businesses talking about why they're reacting to climate change. You're an umbrella organisation representing lots of businesses. What kinds of motivations are you seeing?
Broadly, I would summarise it as big companies that want to continue to grow. So Nike talk in these terms, Unilever talk in these terms, the retailers, Marks and Spencer's, Tesco, Asda, Walmart talk in these terms. If we want to achieve these growth targets, we have to uncouple the growth from the planetary limits. We cannot continue to grow our businesses. There's a figure, so if Coca-Cola want to double the size of their business, in the current model, it couldn't be done. They have to change the way they produce their products into a more sustainable model to be able to grow their businesses. So the problem, if you like, is hand in hand with the opportunity. Change the basis of your business, power it with renewable energy, source from renewable products, get consumers enthused about what you've done in your brands and your innovation, and you can be as big as you like because you won't be impacting the planet in a negative way. So that's the positive spin on this, and the commitment of Unilever in their sustainable living plan, Tesco in the program we're working with around 30% carbon reduction in their supply chain by 2020. Marks and Spencer's Plan A that I've been involved with now for just over 5 years. We heard about that today. The announcement this week from Sainsbury's with their £1 billion sustainability plan. The big companies are seeing this as a major force for change in their company and a major opportunity.
So that's the positive spin, but we've heard about the big companies playing a negative role, the likes of Shell, BP, perhaps, who have a lot to lose, so much as they can promote their opportunities as well. How do you motivate them to take action?
Well, I think the businesses with the biggest footprints, the oil companies, have been on quite a journey, and I suppose for them there's a sort of a conflict between stewarding to the best of their technical scientific ability our use of fossil fuels until we have a viable alternative to them is probably one of their duties to society. We cannot run our economies without them at the moment. And I think the bigger challenge is the extent to which they take on the role of creating the new alternative. And we've seen BP go around on this. Under Lord Brown, they committed the company to beyond petroleum. They probably went a bit too far and got a bit unfocused in the way that they did that. They've refocused, and now they are one of the biggest investors in scalable wind and biofuels from grasses. Again, sort of economically viable, non-food replacing biofuels. So I think in BP we've seen that journey, and we've seen them come back round to, I think, quite an interesting position today. Shell, major investors in this, but also their role in natural gas. So to blame it on them would be a bit disingenuous whilst we drive our cars and heat our houses and power our aircraft carriers with their fuel. So I think you've got to look at what's the role of the company and what we want from them. And I think we want BP to steward fossil fuels, fossil resources as best as they can, so we avoid the sort of disasters that we had. And we need them to make the smart investments in the replacement.
And so it sounds like you see a potential for business to play a very positive role in solving the climate crisis. How do you see that panning out in the next 10, 20 years?
Well, I think, in fact, I was listening to WWF talk just the other week where they said there's probably 100 companies or 100 major organizations on this planet that can make a huge, huge difference. And when I see more of those companies committing to long-term sustainability plans, renewable energy, renewable products, it gives me confidence that we can work our way out of this. There's still a lot of problems to solve, engaging consumers being one of the very big challenges about how we get ourselves, I guess, as consumers, but the wide range of consumers to value low carbon, sustainable alternatives to the products that they have, and embrace the innovation that these companies are coming up with. We've still got a huge challenge to overcome there. But I think I'm sort of a glass half full type person. I do think business and innovation is the engine of this low carbon future.
Thanks very much for talking to us. It's really interesting.